seeing me drive.
You're gonna see me drive too.
Long live bad bitches.
Yeah.
What is something that is unspeakable? It is something so traumatic and atrocious that our subconscious tells us to forget about it and remain silent. They are violations of the social contract that are too terrible to utter aloud. A lot of what happens to us stays with us whether we like it or not, even if we try to store it away and not think about it. It sticks with you, and it doesn't have to be something that is silently a part of you, because you are simply not what has happened to you. Reclaim what femininity truly is, and it is a divine thing that all of us have within us, and that can't be taken away no matter what we go through. Crushing all of the little itty-bitty things that we have to deal with every day and stay silent about and be nonchalant about and be the chill girl, because the chill girl stays silent. And that's just not who we should be told that we are as women.
That will make him fall in love with you. She's a 7. She cries when she's sad. Hugs at my kids to know your drinks they can't hurt with. Even smile.
Guys, come on. I told you, it's the pedal on the right. Come on. We're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry, we're gonna do it all, and so. We are here.
Do you want to walk in front of it?
No.
I'm just gonna freehand it. Right. My name is Batal. I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Mia Alexander.
We are both 21 years old. I identify as non-binary and queer.
I identify as female and queer.
And both of us who have grown up being perceived as a woman are gonna talk about what comes with that. What is femininity to you?
I could answer this in 2 different ways, because I think there's definitely a big difference between how I was raised and how I was supposed to perceive femininity versus what it took years, and I'm still in the process of defining femininity for myself, because I can understand that it's far from what I've been taught. What I've been taught is that femininity is something for others to perceive and enjoy, where I feel like reclaiming femininity for myself is doing things when no one's watching almost, and doing things for myself, things that make me feel beautiful. And it's like having, and not having like a perceived notion of other people knowing that I would look beautiful in this moment. It's like those moments where I feel beautiful, and I know that like whether or not anyone is there to witness it, it's something that I get to experience, and it's almost more special in that way, that it's like this little, and we're taught that it's selfish to keep these things to ourselves, but it's not. So that's what femininity means to me. It also has a lot to do with like creating and utilizing the skills that other really important women in my life have taught me. So yeah, it's definitely very far from what I've been conditioned to think it is.
What does girlhood mean to you?
Girlhood is what I just said, but you get to experience it with other people. And it's like there's still that lack of like being perceived. There's a lack of judgment. It's just so much more like you feed into each other, and it just becomes something so beautiful. I love just like being with the girls, you know, there's just something, it feels very safe, and it feels almost, when you're around certain people, girlhood doesn't have an age. Like I can still feel like a child. I can still like feel like a princess. Like I'm tearing up just thinking about it, and I'm blessed that like I had such a great childhood where I got to like play and use my imagination, and like just having that experience with other people. Even now, I say this all the time, I'm like a teenage girl in my 20s. I don't fully feel like an adult. I'm still a girl. Like the whole like I'm just a girl, it doesn't mean like saying like, oh, I don't want to be responsible for things on a larger level. Like it's so, and people think it that way and use it to defend misogyny, but it's more so like I am innocent at heart, and I care, and I'm creative, and I'm all these things that like the reality of how harsh and brutal the world is doesn't line up with it. Like how can you just be a girl in this world? You can't be. So girlhood is just that little escape with other people for a minute when you can forget.
And you can just see each other as like human beings rather than having to worry about being perceived by someone who is only. You don't have to be performative at all. Which is just like a weight. It's almost like being with men is a performance.
It's like, what can I do to have them like me, respect me, which is so difficult, but also like respect me in a sense that they see me as their own. Like it's so weird. It's like you can be above or below. There's no in between. Should we build a snowman? Probably. Should we build a snow woman? Why isn't it a fucking snow woman? Fuck all of you. You said that. It is now straight. Unlike both of us. Wait, hello? That looks so good. Okay, Slay, I want to see it.
Like, why did I
wait, yeah, why is it slaying? This is girlhood. I love her.
Hello, and welcome back to the episode of Push Report. We have so...
Okay.
Don't you dare.
This is actually a photo I found in my grandma's garage. We don't know whose wrecked car that is, but that is my mom's first car. It was a light blue buggy. I also found this in my grandma's garage. It's cool. I really love my grandma. I don't even know what to say about this one. This is my mom and I. Yeah, this is my mom and I. Oh.
But I mean this in the most genuine way, that in this life, the community of sisterhood is a sacred thing. You cannot have good things in life unless you suffer through the bad. You cannot appreciate the blessings that come to you if you cannot experience and endure the bad. And that's so cliche, but holy fuck. In the eye of the beholder, and we've created this mold of, what Western beauty is. And I'm not bringing a new perspective to this conversation. I'm just kind of... It's making me uncomfortable, and that should be enough for you to stop. Where here's the mold, and you're not fitting into the mold, and we need you to fit into the mold, okay? And if you don't, get the fuck out. Saying, okay, even if I changed everything about myself, once I fit into the mold, it's still...
Some scratch cake.
I did say something to you, didn't I?
Later on.
Karen.
This is for a documentary. It's for a documentary.
I don't know.
You dated 2 men at once. You know how it is.
Sometimes powerless.
Yeah. But what makes you feel good
What makes me feel good?
about being a woman?
Showing up men. Showing them how smart I am, or how good I can do things, and they sometimes can't.
Oftentimes can't.
Sometimes I said, okay, oftentimes.
Well, no, I'm just
Most
saying.
of the time.
I agree with you most of the time. Usually women can do it better.
Exactly.
But I totally, yes, I feel really good at work when I have power over these jerks.
Do you have anything to comment, Artie? No comment?
I'm recording this, I don't know why. I'm speeding, and that means that you can go whenever you're ready.
Thanks,
okay,
Sammy.
Shell?
Thanks, Sammy.
My mother and I. She made a path out of sticks and holy water, leftover film and hair rollers. What a woman. May the angels follow us, she whispered. I took the water and made a cocktail. The sticks, a fire to burn all that I wanted. The film, I made a moving picture. What a girl. May the angels envy us, I roared. I am the red leaf that fell from her spring tree, warning of a different forecast to come. She is the sand that traveled islands for me. Prayers and poems, lipstick and gloss, spandex and thongs. My mother and I were the angels all along.
She's got a good idea.
There we go.
All right, with milk, carrots, cookies, and what else? That's it. Napkin.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4,
All right.
5, 6, 7.
I think it's kind of late. We should go.
Wait, 9 including Rudolph, right?
Yeah. And no tenant food in it.
Okay, come on. What?
There's no heat. Yeah, it's a little chilly. There's no heat. Mommy.
Very nice.
Hi, cutie pie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Mwah. So do you want me to, I don't know if this is relevant, but do you want me to tell you what we were talking about? Okay. So Nanny Pollock, my dad's mom, so she was born, during probably 1920 something, and in New York, and they were really, really poor. So this is before the Depression and then during the Depression. But anyways, they grew up very poor, and then when she married my dad's dad, his name was Walter, and her name was Millie. He was a lot of fun. He did like vaudeville acts. He had like a top hat and a cane with like this, another uncle of ours. And they were a blast. Like everybody loved them. They were a lot of fun. They'd sing and dance, put on shows and stuff. They got married, and then my pop drank, and that's why he was so fun. He was a blast. He was an entertainer. He was so funny. I loved him. He was just so fun. He loved having people around him. He'd tell the best stories, and he was great. But he would go to work and then go to the bar on the way home in Yonkers and drink their money for the family, like his paycheck. So my nanny, had Uncle Richie, and then soon she went to work and she was cleaning houses all day. I have no idea who took care of the kids, but they'd have to eat at like friends' houses a couple times a week because they just were so poor. People invite them over for dinner. But my point of the story is he was loved by everybody. He was really fun, and everyone loved coming to their house because they're the first ones to buy a house. But Nanny went to work to clean houses all day long, didn't throw anything away, and saved all the money. She had to hide the money from my pop so that he wouldn't spend it at the bar. So my point of this is she got worked and worked and worked and did everything, and he was loved by everybody. So kind of went in the direction of where she wasn't really the fun one, and she appeared to be cranky and not fun, and had this stereotype the rest of her life because of the pressure put on her by a man that nobody questioned. Everyone always thought that she was the cranky one, and he was so much fun. And then I found out just a couple years ago, I'm like, oh, that's what happened. So I felt bad for my nanny because everyone loved Papa. She was super sweet, and she was lovely. But she worked so hard. She was like 70 and still dragging tree stumps down the driveway when I go see her. Like super strong woman, and lovely and cute. And her name was Millie, but you didn't get to see all that because of the social constructs put on her. As a woman, you didn't speak up in the 30s or the 40s or the 50s.
Yeah.
But she wanted to take care of her family and do the right thing. And so that's just my story for Nanny. We're taught by generations ahead of us some behaviors, and then that just made me sad about my grandmother. Like her life was changed so much because of being a female and having to take care of the family, but she could never say, hey, and if nowadays, if somebody's a drunk, you can leave them, or if you can, I don't know, there's other options. But so that was that story. And then I just have a small one about Grandma Barbara.
Yeah.
It's not that long, and it's just fun. It's kind of just a little snippet, but it tells you how things were different with men and women, how they are today, although we're struggling. It's definitely there's way more change in the last 30 years, like huge change. But Grandma Barbara was visiting when I was moving, moving stressful, whatever. And I had about 90% of my stuff packed. But that last 10% you're just throwing in like frames and extension cords. And in my day, it was like headphones for Walkmans. Like he got kind of mad at me. And I said, look, I'm working full time and I have a marathon in a month. So and your mom, my mother, whipped her hand around, looked at me, and she goes, don't get him angry.
She was like, all the women in our family,
either marry abusers or alcoholics, and sometimes both.
Oh, wow.
And she said you have to break the, like, chain.
Breaking it with you guys, even though it happened with you, and we are going forward, is all I'm saying. There is progress being made. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But we are, ooh, that's good. Is that cake?
Yeah, it's ice cream cake.
Yum! I didn't date anybody abusive my whole life. I didn't date anybody that was mean to me my entire life. And then I don't know. I'm not going to unpack that now, but
if you grow up with that example, like, it's just
right, you repeat things.
Like whether you want to or not, subconsciously it can just happen.
This is changing now. Like,
yeah.
I got out. We got out. That's Herculean. Like, I'm so proud that we got out. Some people can't do that. And honest to God, though, I mean, if I do it all over again, I wouldn't change anything except getting you out earlier. And I am hopeful for the future, though. I think things are changing. Women are speaking up more now. And like when my mom said that, honey, I looked at her like, when she said, don't get him angry, I looked at her like, what? And I go, no. And I sat her down, I go, I'm not living that way. And I tried for a long time not to. And then things took a turn, and then I was afraid of him. But I was headed for a healthy relationship with a man. Everyone ever guy I dated was really nice. I didn't have any. So, but that's a good. I was like, no, like that's not how I'm playing this. No, you can cut. You don't have to edit any of. I mean, you can put what you want.
Really? This is going public at some point.
I don't care. So he's probably not looking anymore. And did you get your eyebrow pierced? Can you get in closer so I can see it? Why do I have this conversation every 4 months? Oh, is that a tattoo I didn't see? Oh,
Mom, I got it 2 days before Grandma died.
Can you get in really close? Wait, closer. Is it a hoop? Closer?
It matches my nose.
Let me see. Oh. I can't see. it. Is it a diamond or something? Okay. Do you wear that one all the time in your eyebrow or no?
Oh yeah. Hi. Don't knock it. You little trickster.
What do you mean?
Like loud?
Yeah. I love the way you read it before.
Okay. My first hookup was with Mark. I wouldn't say he was sweet. I think he asked for my body count within the first week of knowing him, but he had kind eyes. He also had brown hair and a six-pack. What else could a curious teenage girl need? He made a pillow fort for us on the floor. I kept talking and talking, trying to push off the inevitable. I had never kissed anyone for longer than 5 seconds, and I was afraid that my dreams of perfection would be destroyed by too much tongue or not enough saliva. My rapidly moving mouth was silenced by his, though, his lips erasing anything else I had to say. I think we were talking about rowing. Oh yeah, he was a rower, which is why he was in such good shape. He ended up going to school for the sport like every other private school kid in Connecticut. We made our way onto the pillow fort from the couch. The fabric felt soft and warm against my back, and my fingertips explored the random curls scattered around his head. Some were sticking up, rebelling against the countless clusters. When he kissed my neck, I opened my eyes and giggled at the series of very fortunate events unfolding. I felt like I was in some romance movie. When I stood up to collect my things, he pressed my arms above my head and walked me up against the glass door that led to his back patio. As he continued to kiss me, I imagined the handprints that I made on the glass, the pieces of me that would be left in the morning, pieces of me that were already trying to hold on to this moment just a little longer. I pushed him away sweetly with an "I have to get home before my parents wake up," although I didn't want to leave. That was a long time ago, and I haven't heard from Mark in years, but I still imagine that my handprints remain painted on the glass. That on bright sunny days, when the light catches the door properly, the night I shared with him remains. Inside jokes and rug burn. Yeah. I started to like Charlie while playing a supporting character to his lead role in a summer production. He was talented, he still is. His most recent gig was a villain in an episode of Law & Order about a year ago. Now he works at a Sweet Green in Midtown Manhattan. That's the price you pay for big dreams in New York City. Sorry. I was hesitant to follow him into the bedroom, knowing I just started my period that morning. He solidified my fears when he asked to go down on me. No, I'm sorry, I'm on my period. He was persistent. Well, it's kind of like getting a badge of honor when you go down on a girl who's on her period. What the fuck? Still no. After about an hour with him, he asked if I had ever been in love. No. He also kept asking me if I wanted to have sex with him. I had been drinking heavily, but I still managed to mumble out no various times. But again, he was persistent. He pulled me into positions and places where we were so close to committing the act. I felt him press against the inside of my thigh and used force to push him off of me. I masked this attempt to escape with a laugh and ran to the bathroom. I locked the door. I had no idea how long I had been with him. I checked my phone, and it had been over 2 hours. I came out and explained how I had to leave. It's past my curfew. He laughed. Maybe he thought I was playing with him. He pushed my hands above my head and against the bathroom door. It was much sweeter when Mark did it. This time it made my stomach twist in knots. My friends heard my voice and knocked on the door. It was time to go. I woke to memories of sweet kisses, soured by sober thoughts. His scratchy beard left me with rug burner on my lips. I found bruises, many of them, which served as evidence. Careless caresses of a man taken over by his hunger. I had to wear a turtleneck for 2 weeks in the brutal heat of August while they healed. I applied creams and balms like a mad woman. I rubbed arnica lotion into my body every hour, hoping the scars of that night would disappear, hoping the blood in my body would fill the dents. The marks faded, but the feeling in my stomach remained. When his eyes spoke, "You aren't going anywhere," and his grip reinforced that glance, a larger fear of starving men who don't understand formed deep within me. Growing up, I made it a habit of asking Tyler what his ideal girl looked like. "Freckles," he replied, "are the best." That made me happy. My face was stained with them. I kept him company on late nights during my sophomore year with wildly inappropriate text conversations to make him notice me. While playing 21 Questions, he asked me if I had any weird kinks. I told him, not really. Katie was on FaceTime from my computer, coaching me along the way. "No, you have to say something," she urged. I wouldn't even know where to start, I roared back at her. "Well," she continued, "I like when Steven chokes me." I began to type out a reply that I thought he would enjoy, something he would be amused by, even if it wasn't true. Choking? The night before I left for college, I drunkenly texted him to see what he was up to. It was my last chance before we finally went our separate ways, him to Michigan and me to North Carolina. To my surprise, he told me to come over. I jumped at the opportunity. We tossed and turned around his bedroom. I had seen the ski sign above his bed from photos we exchanged, but never in person. It excited me. It felt so intimate to be in the room I had been picturing and piecing together in my head for years. The room filled with heavy breathing and scattered clothing. I clawed at his back, taking in everything I could. I wanted to remember this moment. Maybe in the future we could look back at our first time together. I smiled when he hung above me. His hair dangled above my eyes, and I tried to reach for it. I felt the pressure against my neck before I could. I forgot what I had told him, the lies I gifted him for his amusement. I gasped for air during the few moments he let go. I tried to roll on top of him to have the higher ground. He took that as a challenge, pushing me back below him and pinning my arms above my head. I didn't have the courage to tell him to stop. My struggle probably turned him on. The next morning, I was met with bruises as I walked up to my bedroom mirror to assess the makeup I forgot to wash off. I used a spoon to scrape my skin, attempting to break the blood vessels, but only causing more pain. I found the old bottle of arnica cream below my sink and let its contents sit and seep into my body. I feel the phantom hand of a past love pressing my throat whenever I'm alone with someone. I feel the power of a man who doesn't know I am hurting. I feel my struggle against his force and wonder if it will always be that way. Do I have to scream at the top of my lungs for him to understand it's not a joke? Do I have to kick and yell and claw his eyes out, or can he see the fear in mine? Even if my voice could escape my mind and fly into the air, his hand would force it back into my chest. I am unable to make a sound. I feel everything like it's happening for the first time. And that's where it ends. For that one. Good to get it.
Good to speak about
out of
it,
my
right?
system. It felt like when I was like reading this in class, because like all these people, they could look up like whoever the fuck they wanted to. It was scary though, the amount of girls after that were like that happened, like that same thing.
What is something that is unspeakable? It is something so traumatic and atrocious that our subconscious tells us to forget about it and remain silent. They are violations of the social contract that are too terrible to utter aloud. A lot of what happens to us stays with us, whether we like it or not, even if we try to store it away and not think about it. It sticks with you, and it doesn't have to be something that is silently a part of you, because you are simply not what has happened to you. Reclaim what femininity truly is, and it is a divine thing that all of us have within us, and that can't be taken away no matter what we go through. Crushing all of the little itty-bitty things that we have to deal with every day and stay silent about and be nonchalant about and be the chill girl, because the chill girl stays silent. And that's just not who we should be told that we are as women. We are here today to share experiences, stories, little things in our notes app, really trying to find and expand on little nooks and crannies where we can be girls and we have a safe space, and opening that up here because we deserve to talk about it. You don't have to explain yourself. You can claim yourself however you want to and however feels right for you. That being said, I am going to share a piece that I wrote on an airplane home after moving out of college and just being in not the best mental state personally, but overall very exhausted and burnt out. So yeah, this is called The Paradox of Womanhood. This is a really important piece to me that I wrote at 19 years old. I'm 21 now, so 2 years ago, but it's still something that resonates with me very deeply. So I hope you all enjoy. The Paradox of Womanhood. I am a woman. I am a white woman. I am the perpetrated. I am the perpetrator. I am a walking paradox. I am devoid of morality, overflowing with emotion. I am flourishing with privilege, a roof always over my head. I am hysterical and incapable of rationale, but I am capable of creating life itself. I am denied legitimacy in the workplace, but I am forced into motherhood, the hardest job of all. For once I am a mother, my desires will never take priority again. Did they before anyway? Or did being desirable itself consume my wishes? My existence thrives off hypocrisy, coercion, manipulation, being told I am too quiet and can't think for myself, too bold and unattractive because of it, not beautiful enough to be listened to, too beautiful to be respected, too dumb for invention, too sensitive in intervention, I'm an unfit leader, for I am a woman. I don't have it in me. How dare I call it hypocrisy when women have leaders in them for 9 months? What does it mean to be a woman? Oh, men will tell you their definition. They would know, right? Men know all. We look to men for rationality, dictation of our world and how we should be, and that is the greatest hypocrisy of all. I am the sovereign of my life, my body, my femininity. Do not tell me I am too sensitive, too weak, too stubborn, because you are the one limiting who I can become to begin with. I am a woman, yet I am not like every other woman. I'm an individual. Every woman is an individual too. Did you know that? Or just what society has told you, what influential men have told you, like they have told you all women have vaginas and all women need a man to take care of them. I am more than a pretty face. I am more than my wealth. I am more than a woman even. I am a human. It's silly to treat me for what you think I am, what you think I'm worth, when I haven't even told you, when you would never be able to know. You may think because I'm a woman, my emotions are ugly, as is my body and my past. You may think because I'm a woman, my language is distasteful, as is my style and my sexuality. What's uglier is the cookie-cutter template I have to contort myself into for respect. Do you not have emotions, a body, a past too? What's more distasteful is your attraction to women you think can be kept small and subordinate. Do you know how to be accepting of words other than your own? Express yourself through style, explore your sexuality and be liberated? I'm a walking paradox because you tell me I am. You should assess yourself first before you tell me who I am. Who are you? I can tell you who I am. I'm a woman by my own definition. And as my own woman, I will tell you what it means to be a woman to me. I am a lover and a warrior. I am a feminist. I am a daughter. I am a thinker. I am a feeler. I am overflowing with consideration. I am connected with nature. I am an artist and a creator. I am following cycles with the moon. I am a threat to patriarchy and misogyny. I am learning and growing every day. I am powerful and insightful, and I am going to change the world because I am a woman. That's what it means to be a woman to me. And I can't speak for others. So next time, before you treat a woman how you think they should be treated, treat them like a person first, and then ask them what it means to be a woman. I am a woman because I say so, not a paradox because you make me out to be one. Thank you.
I wrote it on paper. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's my social security speechless.
I just wrote like a little poem, I guess, I don't know, about a part of me that I feel like faded a lot as I grew up but consumed my entire life for 10 years. So I wrote a poem called I Was a Competitive Gymnast, but it's not really about gymnastics. Okay, yeah. I was a competitive gymnast. By the time I was 8 years old, I was training 12 hours a week. I had a six-pack and biceps, and a lot of my time was spent upside down, though those parts often made the most sense to me. I was a competitive gymnast. In the 3rd grade, I beat all of the boys in my class on the fitness test. Then, my male gym teacher let me show them my routine on the balance beam, and everyone clapped for me afterwards. I was a competitive gymnast. In the 4th grade, my teammate asked me if my leotard was too small. I looked in the mirror. It wasn't, right? I was a competitive gymnast. In the 5th grade, my female teacher asked me to cover up when I wore my leotard and sweatpants to class because the strap of my sports bra was showing. I was a competitive gymnast, and in the 6th grade, I quit. I switched to cheerleading and dance and cross country and golf so that I could stay in shape, so that I could stay strong. I was a competitive gymnast. In the 7th grade, I beat all of the boys in my class on the fitness test, again. They sneered and told me it was just because the girls had different rules. They didn't. I was a competitive gymnast. In the 8th grade, my female gym teacher asked for 4 boys to help her move a soccer goal. I volunteered to assist. She politely declined. I was a competitive gymnast. By high school, I had stopped most of my sports. I had developed disordered eating habits because I still wanted to look good. After all, I got more attention for that than for my six-pack and biceps from when I was 8. I was a competitive gymnast. I only do cardio now. I don't lift weights because strong and skinny are apparently two different things. I was a competitive gymnast, but now I just compete against the world and the image of me that it has seemingly defined.
I have spent a lot of my life, I come from a family that is super like girl power, like women can do anything, feminism, to a point. My grandmother, she was the first person, she was a first generation college student. Her parents immigrated here after the Armenian genocide. She went to college, she became, she worked at a blood bank, she wanted to be a biologist, she wanted to be a doctor. And then she chose instead to get married and stop working. And that's something that, is something she talks about a lot, is that she wished she never did that. And despite that, she's always been very outspoken, many times to a fault. But it led my mother to then do the same thing, not quit her job though. But my mom went to college, went to grad school, got her doctorate. She's a PhD, and she is one of the few female scientists and professors in her department. And so I come from a family of really strong women, but at the same time, a lot of that is a paradox, kind of like what Mia was saying. So much of that is on the outside, whereas on the inside, they continue to tear each other down. They continue to kind of proliferate these ideas that are not helping women. They're ideas that are hurting women, and they just have no idea. And I grew up with a father who was from Texas, was in the military, had some really adverse opinions on things, and as much as he would be like, my wife is so strong and women can do anything, he also was the first person to then tear down women and tear down me specifically, and oftentimes my mother. And I grew up as someone who didn't really feel that feminine. I didn't feel feminine at all. I loved sports. I loved just roughhousing. I loved not wearing dresses and not liking pink and everything of that sort. My favorite thing was dinosaurs. Like, I didn't feel like a woman. I would sit at the boys' table in 3rd grade and I would arm wrestle all the boys, and I would win. Yet it didn't matter. And I would always be told, you need to go put on a dress, you need to wear this, you need to wear that. You can't eat that. At a very young age, it was, oh, you can't eat a second cookie because you're gonna get diabetes. I spent so much of my life then trying to conform to beauty standards that I didn't feel like I fit into. Now, that's because of what people wanted me to be, and also the fact that I grew up in a really white town. A half Armenian woman isn't really the beauty standard that anybody was looking for. And I felt so out of place, and I tried for so long to dress the way people wanted me to lose weight, to wear things a certain way. But at the same time, I was trying to show off that outside so people would like me, people would think I was attractive. Whereas then, when I wasn't in those situations, I would be going and confronting feminism head on, because that's what I always thought was really important. And I have always been in male-dominated industries, and men who wouldn't let me move things because I'm 5 feet tall, but I can lift way more than, most people. And they would say, you can't do this, you can't do that, oh, can you guys help with this? Becca, you can stay working on the computer. And it drove me nuts every day. And especially, I work in film. I I'm a producer, I have to run around and do everything all the time. And people still talk down to me, even though I might be the one who's running the show. And even in other productions I've worked on, I've been in meetings where I had a co-position with someone else. And our advisor, our faculty advisor, was addressing only my male co-manager that I was working directly with. We had the same position, and she would only address him on these massive Zoom meetings. And eventually, he spoke out and was like, no, this is Becca and me, and we're a team, and you cannot just address me. And she was just like, oh yeah, Becca too. And I think that's something that so many women have felt, where it's just like, oh, this man, oh, and you too, sorry, but you too. And that sucks. That sucks, feeling like you are just the less important piece of something, because you're not. Oftentimes, you're the one who's doing all the work, and someone else is up in the front saying, this is my thing. And it's so hard to then call it out and be like, no, I did this, because then you're seen as wanting attention. You're seen as, oh, you're just trying to take credit for something that was a group effort. It's like, no, I was doing it. I was a huge part of this, but just because a man said I was a lesser part of it, apparently that's true. And I think the more we have conversations like this, and the more we call out these behaviors, the better it gets.
Would I still cry and another man touched me the wrong way? Would I cry to other men about you when I'm supposed to cry to other men to you? Would I have to blur my life with prescription drugs when I remember too much? Would I have remembered my childhood? Would I be able to hug even my own mother? Would I have to wear sweaters and hoodies when I felt him all over me again? Would I have these reminders on my arms and legs? Would I have lived a life not burdened by his presence? I hope in another life, another universe, he never did that to you. A universe where you don't have to wonder all these things. Unfortunately, history can repeat itself. This isn't supposed to be a man-hating project. I know that this is gonna make people angry. I don't care. I don't care. But that's also not what I'm trying to do. But there are times when that narrative can switch all of a sudden. I can still look back on a boy who quite literally changed my brain chemistry, and I have to live with the consequences of that. But that is still a boy I once loved. That's someone I really loved. That was my best friend. And it's hard to accept as women. It's hard because we instinctively, and what I felt for such a long time, and many of my friends, people I've spoken to, similar experiences, you feel the need to be silent. You feel forced to. But it's also difficult to accept and to even realize that is reality. And you know, although it's very upsetting, we have to call out these behaviors even if it's someone you once loved. They're not the same person anymore, and you gotta look past that and look at who they are. But the one fucking thing we all have in common is womanhood. We have all of this in common, these experiences. It's a web, a connectedness. It can never be taken from us. Yeah. I don't know.
This is what it took years, and so